It's important to remember that sign language is its own language. It's very different from English. So sign language, so when someone's using sign language, they're not following an English word order. They're not signing to an English grammatical structure. Sign language has its own grammatical structure. It has its own ways of using language. So, for example, what might be said in a sentence in English can be just said in a few signs in sign language. And what might be said in 5 words in English might be needing to be expanded in sign language, because they're concepts that you're working from rather than following a certain grammatical structure. So they are very different languages. So that means for a lot of deaf people that they're not fluent in they're not fluent in English. Their literacy wouldn't be the same. They wouldn't have the same literacy ability in English as they would have in use of sign language. So there's some people whose language level might be a lot younger than their physical age. But I think being able to have accessibility in both English and sign language is important. But then you're talking about another language again, which is kind of like the language that people within the government might use, because there's complicated ideas that are being used. There's quite a lot of jargon. There's quite a lot of specific terms that are really relevant for government. And I've noticed some of those words when I'm reading them. I go, I've seen that word before, but I'm not sure the meaning of that when they're using it within within that intention, within that sentence. So I'm really having to think about that when I'm providing accessibility for the deaf community in sign language. I want to make sure, I've done the research, that I want to make sure that I've got the right definition of that word and the intention they're using it as within their use, so it's put into sign language as well equally.